Throughout human history, people have looked to their hands as mirrors of destiny. In the lines, curves, and marks on our palms, they have seen reflections of their inner life and outer journey. In Buddhist thought, the hand is not merely flesh and bone. It is a sacred instrument of karma. Every action we take, every word we speak, every intention we form, these leave imprints upon the mind, and sometimes they echo in the subtle patterns of the body. For many men and women, discovering a crescent moon or the letter M on the palm feels mysterious, even shocking. Could such markings really mean something about who you are or what lies ahead? Buddhism teaches that nothing appears by chance. What is seen in the palm is not a magical prediction, but a reminder of deeper truths. These signs are not accidents. They arise as symbols of the qualities you have cultivated in this life, or past ones. The crescent moon suggests illumination emerging from darkness, while the letter M symbolizes mastery, mindfulness, and meaning. If you carry these marks, you are being called towards self-discovery, responsibility, and transformation. In this journey, wisdom and mindfulness become your true guides. 1. The crescent moon, awakening from darkness. The crescent moon in the palm has long been seen as a symbol of awakening, and from a Buddhist perspective, it reflects the universal truth of emergence from ignorance toward clarity. Just as the moon waxes gradually, so too does the journey of human consciousness. For men and women who bear this mark, it suggests that you are walking the path of transformation, learning to rise from confusion, suffering, or doubt into a life of deeper awareness. The crescent is not the full moon, yet it carries promise. It reminds us that even if your life feels incomplete or clouded, light is already breaking through. This mirrors the Buddha's own awakening, which began not in perfection, but in struggle. He was a man who confronted pain, desire, and illusion, only to discover that clarity lies beyond them. In the same way, the crescent on your palm tells you that you are in motion, not stuck. It is proof that your soul is unfolding toward its own brightness. For modern men, this speaks directly to the pressures of life, responsibility, career, family, and inner battles. The crescent calls you to pause and recognize that your struggles are not permanent walls, but stepping stones. It tells women as well that even in nurturing, creating, or healing roles, their light is growing steadily, though it may not yet be at its peak. In Buddhism, the moon is often compared to the mind, sometimes hidden by clouds, sometimes shining clear. The crescent is the moment the clouds part. If you carry this symbol in your hand, you are being asked to trust the process of your growth. Do not demand instant perfection. Instead, value the gradual path. Every meditation, every act of kindness, every mindful breath is like a waxing moon, slowly filling your life with radiance. The crescent also warns against despair. Darkness may linger, but the light is never destroyed. It is only hidden. This truth can anchor you during times of loss, betrayal, or failure. The mark is a reminder that your destiny is not collapse, but renewal. Like the cycle of the moon, you will rise again, brighter than before. Ultimately, the crescent moon on your palm is not a prophecy of wealth or fame. It is a call to spiritual responsibility. It whispers that your purpose is to shine for others, to be a lamp in their night, and to keep growing until your own fullness arrives. It is not a gift to be wasted. It is a reminder that awakening is already in your hand. 2. The M symbol, mastery of mind. The appearance of the letter M on the palm carries a powerful resonance, especially when viewed through the lens of Buddhist wisdom. In most traditions, the letter is seen as a mark of mastery, an indication that the person who bears it is called to rise above ordinary living and embrace discipline, mindfulness, and meaning. For men and women alike, it is not a casual sign, but a message. You are meant to cultivate strength of mind and clarity of purpose. In Buddhism, the mind is both the root of suffering and the key to liberation. The Buddha taught, "With our thoughts, we make the world." The M etched in your hand symbolizes this truth. It urges you to recognize the immense power of thought, habit, and intention. Modern life often distracts us with endless noise, screens, deadlines, desires. But those with the M are reminded that their true wealth lies not in possessions, but in the ability to master their own thoughts. For men, this sign is a challenge to embody self-control, to be steady even in the face of temptation or anger. True strength is not measured in dominance, but in restraint and wisdom. For women, the M carries the same call: to live with clarity, not confusion, to shape relationships and choices with deep awareness rather than fleeting emotions. The M also points to meaning. Many people drift through life without asking, "Why am I here? What is my purpose?" But if this letter rests on your palm, you are not allowed to drift. You are called to ask the deeper questions and seek the answers not in shallow pleasures, but in mindfulness, service, and truth. From a Buddhist perspective, mastery of the mind is not about controlling every thought, but about observing thoughts without being enslaved by them. Imagine standing on a riverbank, watching water flow by. Your thoughts are the river. To master the mind is to stand firmly on the bank, no longer swept away by every current. This is the discipline the M reminds you to cultivate. In daily life, this might mean meditating before rushing into decisions, choosing silence over conflict, or responding with compassion where anger might have ruled. It is in these small victories that true mastery is found. Over time, these choices shape your karma, creating a future that reflects your inner discipline. The M is not simply about personal success. It is a reminder that those who have mastered themselves can guide others. Just as the Buddha became a refuge for the world by taming his own mind, you too can become a source of strength for family, friends, and community. If the crescent moon calls you to awakening, the M calls you to mastery. Together they form a map of inner evolution, awakening to your light and mastering the mind to keep it steady. This symbol on your palm is not random. It is a signature of destiny, reminding you that true power is not in the world outside, but in the world within. 3. Destiny and karma. Reflected in the palm. When you see a crescent moon or the letter M on your palm, it is easy to think of destiny as something fixed, like a script already written. But in Buddhism, destiny is never a prison. It is shaped by karma, the law of cause and effect. Karma is not punishment or reward. It is simply the natural unfolding of actions. What you plant, you harvest. What you choose today, you meet tomorrow. The markings in your palm can be understood as mirrors of this karmic journey. They do not tell you that your life is unchangeable. Rather, they reflect the momentum you carry from past choices, habits, and intentions. The crescent moon suggests that your soul has been moving toward awakening over lifetimes, and now the seed of wisdom is breaking through. The M tells you that self-mastery has been part of your karmic work, that your struggles and victories in this life and past ones have refined your mind toward discipline and meaning. For men, this insight is powerful. Many feel trapped by circumstances, jobs, responsibilities, mistakes, yet the palm reminds you that you are not bound to repeat patterns forever. Karma is alive, always shifting. If you take responsibility, practice mindfulness, and live with compassion, your future reshapes itself. The destiny you fear becomes the freedom you create. For women, this truth is equally vital. Life may seem dictated by expectations, roles, or relationships, but the palm whispers that you are not powerless. The choices you make in awareness have the strength to rewrite your path. Think of it this way. Your palm is not a book with finished chapters, but a canvas where karma continues to paint. The crescent moon may symbolize the potential for light, but how bright it shines depends on your daily actions. The M may indicate mastery, but mastery is not a title, it is a practice. Every decision you make is another stroke of ink on your karmic story. Buddhism teaches that we carry both visible and invisible marks of karma. The lines on the palm may be visible reminders, but the habits in your heart are the real script. If you carry anger, jealousy, or greed, your palm may still hold symbols, but they will wither in meaning. If you cultivate patience, generosity, and mindfulness, those same symbols become alive, activated, like seeds watered by attention. Ultimately, the crescent and the M are not predictions, but invitations. They invite you to step into your karmic responsibility. They remind you that your past has led you here, but your present can shape what comes next. Nothing is permanent, not even suffering. If your palm carries these marks, it is a sign that destiny is not to be feared, but embraced. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. The path is not behind you, it is right under your hand. 4th, spiritual sensitivity and intuition. One of the most profound meanings behind the crescent moon and the M on the palm is the presence of heightened intuition. In Buddhist wisdom, intuition is not some mystical power reserved for a few. It is the natural clarity that arises when the mind is still and free from constant craving. When you carry these marks, It suggests your life has been tuned, perhaps through karma, perhaps through inner growth, towards spiritual sensitivity. The crescent moon reflects the subtle light of awareness. Just as the moon reflects the sun's rays, so too does your mind reflect deeper truths when it is quiet. Those with this symbol often sense things before they happen. They may feel an unexplainable pull toward certain people or notice hidden intentions others miss. This is not superstition. It is the fruit of mindfulness and presence. A calm mind is a receptive mind, and a receptive mind sees what noisy minds ignore. The M strengthens this meaning. It suggests a call to mastery, not only of the external self, but of inner knowing. Many men and women who bear this mark may find themselves naturally drawn to meditation, reflection, or spiritual study. Even if they resist it at first, life has a way of steering them back toward deeper awareness. The letter M becomes a reminder that their intuition is not to be dismissed but trusted. For men, this sensitivity can be both a challenge and a gift. Society often tells men to be logical, hard, and unfeeling. Yet Buddhist wisdom shows that true strength lies in balance. A man who listens to his intuition, who trusts the quiet voice within, can avoid mistakes that brute force or ego might lead him into. For women, the same applies, though in a different context. Many women are naturally encouraged to be nurturing and intuitive, but the M insists on balance as well. Intuition without mindfulness can become anxiety. Intuition with discipline becomes wisdom. The presence of intuition does not mean your life will always be easy. In fact, it can sometimes feel heavy to sense what others cannot. But Buddhism teaches that with great awareness comes great responsibility. If you have these marks, your calling may involve guiding others, even silently, through the light of your own example. You may find yourself in roles where your insight helps prevent harm, restore balance, or reveal truth. Trusting your intuition does not mean ignoring reason. The Buddha never asked his followers to abandon logic. He encouraged direct experience and reflection. In the same way, your spiritual sensitivity should walk hand in hand with discernment. Listen to the quiet voice within, but measure it against mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. Ultimately, the crescent and the M point to a life that is not lived blindly. They show that you are equipped to see beyond appearances, to sense the currents beneath the surface. Intuition becomes your compass, guiding you not only toward success, but toward awakening. To ignore it is to betray yourself. To honor it is to align with the truth already waiting inside you. 5. Leadership and responsibility. A crescent moon or an M on your palm is not simply a personal sign of inner awakening. It also carries an external message. You are being called to lead. In Buddhist wisdom, leadership is not about domination or control. It is about responsibility. The Buddha himself was not a ruler in the worldly sense, but he became a leader of hearts and minds because he carried the responsibility of truth with courage and compassion. If you bear these marks, it is a reminder that your influence on others cannot be ignored. People will naturally look to you for guidance, whether you want them to or not. The crescent moon suggests that you have the ability to be a light in darkness, showing others the path when confusion surrounds them. The M symbolizes mastery, and mastery always carries responsibility. Because what you master in yourself, you are expected to share with the world. For men, this can be a heavy truth. Society often equates leadership with power, money, or authority. But in the Buddhist path, leadership means being steady when others are restless, compassionate when others are harsh, and wise when others are blind. It means being the calm presence in your family, the trustworthy friend in your circle, or the ethical force in your workplace. For women, leadership may often come through nurturing, guiding, and shaping the lives of those around them. The palm reminds them that their influence is not small. It is transformative. True leadership is grounded in humility. The Buddha taught that the greatest leaders serve, not dominate. If you carry these signs, you are not meant to exploit your influence for selfish gain, but to lift others higher. This might mean offering quiet counsel to a struggling friend, standing firm in honesty when others compromise, or simply living in such a way that your example becomes a lesson without words. Responsibility also means accountability. If you have the crescent or the M, life will not allow you to escape easily when you fall into destructive patterns. Your mistakes will echo louder, your betrayals will cut deeper, because your role is too important. Karma holds leaders more accountable, and if you carry these marks, you are one of them. This is why mindfulness, discipline, and compassion are not optional for you. They are survival. Leadership does not always manifest in grand positions. You may never sit on a throne or lead a company, but you will lead in ways that matter more, in shaping your children, guiding your partner, or being the silent strength others depend on. Even in solitude, your example leaves an imprint. In essence, the crescent moon and the M do not just speak of personal awakening, they speak of collective duty. They remind you that your journey is not only for yourself, but for the many whose paths cross yours. To lead with wisdom and compassion is not a burden, it is your calling. And when you embrace it, your life becomes a gift to the world. 6. Wealth and prosperity with wisdom. Another powerful meaning of the crescent moon and the M on your palm is their link to prosperity. But in Buddhism, prosperity is never just about money, it is about abundance in all forms. Health, peace, clarity, and the ability to support yourself and others. When these symbols appear on the palm, they often indicate that life will present opportunities for material and spiritual wealth. Yet the real teaching here is not about chasing wealth, but about using it wisely. The crescent moon symbolizes gradual growth. Just as the moon moves from a thin sliver to fullness, your prosperity may come step by step. This is a reminder to be patient and steady. Success built on mindfulness lasts. Success built on greed crumbles. For men, this is especially important because the world often tells you that wealth defines your worth. But the crescent says otherwise. Your worth is in your light, your discipline, and your ability to use resources for good. For women, the message is equally deep. Prosperity is not simply about accumulation, but about balance, nurturing abundance in relationships, health, and inner peace alongside financial stability. The M in the palm emphasizes mastery. True prosperity comes when you master desire instead of being mastered by it. Many people chase money endlessly, yet remain poor in spirit. The M reminds you that real richness is having enough, using it wisely, and keeping your mind free from the chains of endless craving. As the Buddha taught, the greatest wealth is contentment. If you bear the M, your journey with wealth is not just about earning, but about learning to align your resources with your values. This does not mean you will not achieve financial success. In fact, people with these marks often attract opportunities, partly because their intuition and leadership guide them toward wise choices. But the symbols carry a warning. If you misuse wealth, if you hoard it in greed, or use it to harm others, karma will bring imbalance. The blessing turns into a burden. From a Buddhist lens, wealth is best understood as a tool for supporting your family, serving your community, and practicing generosity. Giving is not loss, it is investment in good karma. Those with the crescent or M often find that when they give, their life opens up even more. The act of sharing clears the path for new abundance to flow in. Prosperity with wisdom is not just about finances, it is also about inner wealth. Peace of mind, healthy relationships, resilience, and spiritual clarity are treasures far greater than gold. If you bear these marks, your calling is to build both forms of wealth, the outer and the inner. Together, they create a life that is stable, free, and fulfilling. The palm does not promise you will become a millionaire. It promises something far greater, that if you live with mindfulness and mastery, your life will never be empty. You will walk with enough, and you will know how to use it well. That is true prosperity. 7. Protection from negative forces. The crescent moon and the M on the palm are not only signs of opportunity and awakening, they are also symbols of protection. In Buddhist wisdom, protection is not about building walls around yourself. It is about cultivating such clarity and strength within that negativity cannot control you. These marks in your hand suggest that you carry a natural shield, a karmic safeguard, that helps you endure and overcome harmful influences. The crescent moon represents light breaking through darkness. Even when surrounded by negativity, whether it comes from toxic people, hostile environments, or even your own inner doubts, the crescent is a sign that you will not remain in darkness forever. It reflects resilience. Life may test you, but the light within you always has the power to rise again. For men, this symbol is a reminder to be steady even when attacked, to meet hostility with inner calm rather than retaliation. For women, it is a sign that intuition and inner strength will guide them away from harmful situations and towards safety and balance. The M on the palm adds another layer. It points to mastery of mind, which is the greatest protection of all. External shields may fail, but a disciplined, mindful mind cannot be shaken. People who carry the M often find that negativity does not cling to them for long because they refuse to be consumed by it. Instead of reacting in anger or fear, they learn to step back, breathe, and respond from clarity. This ability makes them less vulnerable to manipulation, jealousy, or envy. Protection in Buddhism does not mean you will never face hardship. The Buddha himself faced betrayal, criticism, and even physical threats. What protection means is that these challenges will not destroy you. Like the lotus flower that rises clean from muddy water, you too have the power to rise unstained. The marks on your palm remind you that karma supports those who walk with mindfulness and compassion. For modern life, this teaching is especially important. Many men and women today are surrounded by negativity, whether from stressful work, social pressure, or toxic relationships. The crescent and the M in the palm remind you that you are not defenseless. Every mindful breath you take, every compassionate choice you make, strengthens the shield around you. Protection is not something given to you from outside. It is something you cultivate within. Another truth is that those who carry these marks often become protectors themselves. Just as you are shielded, you are also called to shield others. Your strength, wisdom, and clarity can serve as a refuge for those who are weaker or lost. Whether it is a child looking up to you, a friend in crisis, or a stranger who feels your calm presence, your role as protector extends beyond yourself. Ultimately, the crescent moon and the M remind you that negativity may touch your life, but it cannot own you. With mindfulness, mastery, and resilience, you walk through shadows without being consumed. This is the highest form of protection, the kind no enemy can take away. 8. Transformation through struggles. The crescent moon and the M on the palm also point toward a profound truth in Buddhism. Transformation is born from struggle. Just as the lotus cannot bloom without mud, your growth cannot occur without challenges. These marks are reminders that your difficulties are not meaningless punishments, but stepping stones toward awakening. The crescent moon embodies this perfectly. It is not a full circle. It is incomplete, growing, and evolving. In the same way, struggles in life do not represent failure. They represent the process of becoming. Men often see struggle as a sign of weakness, something to hide or escape from. But the crescent says otherwise. It tells you that your scars are proof of resilience, your failures are seeds of wisdom, and your challenges are shaping you into someone stronger than you realize. For women, the crescent carries the same message, that even in moments of exhaustion, heartbreak, or loss, the light is returning. You are in a process, not at an end. The M deepens this meaning by pointing to mastery. Mastery is never achieved in comfort, it is forged in fire. When you carry this mark, your life may not always be easy, but every struggle you face is an invitation to rise higher. Whether it is financial setbacks, emotional wounds, or personal mistakes, the M insists that these are not dead ends but turning points. Each struggle holds the power to refine your character, discipline your mind, and sharpen your wisdom. Buddhist wisdom teaches that suffering is universal. No one escapes it, not even the enlightened. But suffering has two faces, one that breaks you and one that builds you. What decides which face you see is your response. If you cling to anger, fear, or despair, struggle becomes chains. But if you meet struggle with mindfulness, patience, and compassion, struggle becomes wings. The crescent and M remind you that your struggles are meant to be wings. In modern life, this is crucial. Men and women today face pressures that feel unbearable. Financial stress, failed relationships, loneliness, and doubt. Yet those with these marks are being told, you have what it takes to turn hardship into wisdom. Each obstacle is not blocking your path. It is your path. Transformation does not happen overnight. Just as the moon moves slowly from crescent to full, you must embrace the process with patience. Every meditation, every conscious decision, every act of kindness in the face of suffering is another step toward fullness. The M teaches you to be mindful of these moments, to recognize that even your pain has purpose. Ultimately, the palm is reminding you that struggle is not the end of your story. It is the workshop of your soul. You are being shaped, refined, and prepared for a higher purpose. The crescent moon shows that the light is already rising, and the M assures you that with discipline, you can transform suffering into strength. Together, they declare, your struggles are not destroying you. They are building you into who you were meant to be. 9. Attraction and influence. The crescent moon and the M on your palm also indicate a natural ability to attract and influence others. In Buddhism, influence is not about manipulation or ego. It is about presence, authenticity, and the quiet power of being aligned with truth. Those who carry these marks often find that people are drawn to them, sometimes without explanation. This is not coincidence. It is the energy of mindfulness, integrity, and inner clarity manifesting outwardly. The crescent moon reflects a subtle light that others notice, even if they cannot name it. It symbolizes an aura of calm strength, resilience, and hope. Men with this mark may find that their confidence is magnetic, not because they assert dominance, but because they have weathered life's storms and emerged steady. Women with the crescent often exude quiet charm and grounded intuition that draws trust and admiration. In both cases, the attraction comes from being rooted in presence, not pretense. The M amplifies this influence. Mastery of mind and awareness naturally inspire others. People unconsciously sense those who have disciplined thoughts, controlled emotions, and aligned actions. When you embody mindfulness, your words, gestures, and decisions carry weight. You do not need to demand respect or attention. It arrives because of the energy you radiate. This is the true meaning of influence in Buddhist practice. It is earned through personal integrity, not through coercion or manipulation. For modern men, this influence can extend to career, friendships, and leadership roles. You may notice that your advice carries more credibility, your calm in crisis steadies those around you, and your decisions inspire trust. For women, this influence often manifests in relationships, family, or creative endeavors. Your insight and stability naturally guide others, providing a subtle but powerful leadership. It is important to recognize that attraction and influence carry responsibility. Buddhism teaches that energy flows where attention goes. Those who are naturally magnetic have a duty to act ethically. Your presence can uplift or harm, depending on your intentions. The crescent and M remind you that influence is sacred. How you use it determines the positive or negative ripple in the world. Moreover, this energy is contagious. Your calmness can reduce fear, your clarity can reduce confusion, and your courage can inspire bravery. These marks do not make you superior. They mark you as a channel of potential for good. If you embrace your influence mindfully, you not only enhance your life, but also serve as a quiet force for the awakening and betterment of others. In essence, the crescent moon and the M on your palm signify a life of magnetic energy and meaningful impact. They teach that true attraction comes from authenticity, wisdom, and presence. Your influence is a reflection of your inner mastery, a tool to shape the world with clarity, compassion, and conscious intention. 10th, spiritual awakening and enlightenment. The crescent moon and the M on your palm are ultimately signs pointing towards spiritual awakening. In Buddhism, awakening is not reserved for monks or secluded sages. It is available to anyone willing to observe reality deeply, act with mindfulness, and cultivate compassion. These marks suggest that your path is aligned with this journey, calling you to recognize truths beyond the superficial layers of life. The crescent moon represents the gradual illumination of the mind. Just as the moon waxes slowly, spiritual insight grows with patience, reflection, and consistent practice. Men with this mark may feel an inner pull to question their purpose, confront illusions, and explore mindfulness. Women may experience the same pull, sensing that life's material achievements are not enough and that true fulfillment requires inner clarity. The crescent is the sign that your awakening is in motion, even if subtle and unseen by others. The M reinforces the call to mastery of mind and heart. Enlightenment in Buddhism is not about abandoning life, but mastering it, living fully while remaining unattached, compassionate, and aware. It signals that your mind has the potential to rise above ego-driven thoughts, to see the impermanent nature of all things, and to cultivate serenity even in chaos. Men and women alike are encouraged to see this as a responsibility. Awakening is not merely personal. It becomes a beacon for others through example and compassionate action. Modern life, with its endless distractions, can make spiritual awakening seem impossible. Yet the marks on your palm are reminders that clarity is within reach. They suggest that you are equipped to navigate distractions and remain anchored in presence. The crescent encourages mindfulness, while the M encourages intentionality in every thought, word, and action. Together, they guide you toward living a life that is conscious rather than reactive, purposeful rather than lost in habit. Awakening also involves embracing impermanence. The crescent moon waxes and wanes, symbolizing the cycles of life. Pain, joy, success, and loss are all transient. Understanding this allows you to move through life with equanimity, neither clinging to pleasure nor fearing suffering. The M encourages you to master this understanding, to internalize it, so that it informs your daily actions and decisions. Ultimately, these marks are not just symbolic, they are practical guides. They invite you to meditate, reflect, and cultivate virtues like compassion, patience, and wisdom. They signal that the potential for enlightenment is in your hands, literally and figuratively. Your journey is both unique and universal. The crescent and the M serve as daily reminders that spiritual awakening is not distant. It is happening here and now, through the life you live and the mind you master. By embracing this path, you step into the highest purpose your marks can offer. Not just success or protection, not just influence or wealth, but the deep, enduring peace and clarity of a mind awakened. The crescent and the M are your compass, showing you that enlightenment is within reach, waiting for your conscious, courageous steps. By honoring these signs, you embrace responsibility, protect yourself and others, and transform challenges into growth. Ultimately, your life becomes a reflection of clarity, purpose, and spiritual depth. The marks in your hand are not just destiny, they are your compass, guiding you toward awakening, mastery, and a meaningful legacy.